On this 4th of July, words of caution for people celebrating across the West. Extreme heat posing serious threats. Good evening. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Christian Cafton. The biggest concern for many firefighters as we move into the night is the potential for people to set off illegal fireworks. They stress it's a bad move, creating serious risks of new fires. We start in Oregon, where firefighters just got the upper hand on a massive fire that broke out in the central part of the state last week. An all-out ban on fireworks is in effect in some areas. The city of Portland is one place firefighters say fireworks are not a good idea. Many cities across the West have similar bans in place. They say it's best to attend a fireworks show set up by the professionals. Most evacuation orders tied to Northern California's Thompson fire have now been reduced to warnings. People planning to go back to check on their homes and other structures near Oroville are being warned they need to be ready to leave again quickly if necessary. New images today show some structures that have been destroyed. That fire started Tuesday. So far, it's burned more than 3,700 acres in Butte County and is just 7% contained. Investigators still trying to figure out exactly how that fire started. In the San Francisco Bay Area, the death of a 69-year-old homeless man is being blamed on the scorching heat. San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan says the man died on Tuesday and called his death, quote, an avoidable tragedy. Today, volunteers spent their 4th of July providing necessities like ice and water to homeless people living in encampments in the area. They say just today they encountered someone experiencing heat stroke.
Any person with humanity wants to see people safe and alive. So coming out here and seeing these people struggle, like, all I want to do is help.
The hot weather and fire danger also forced the cancellation of a number of 4th of July events in the Bay Area. And we're learning more tonight about this week's heat-related death in Arizona. A fire captain says the 10-year-old who collapsed on Phoenix's South Mountain while hiking has now been identified as Cortinez Logan. That boy's family recently moved to the Phoenix area from Missouri. The Logan family started hiking on South Mountain early Tuesday morning. Cortinez collapsed during the valley's extreme heat at around 2 that afternoon. He died several hours after emergency crews got him to an area hospital. The fire department says this tragedy is a sobering reminder of the dangers of extreme heat. Temperatures in Phoenix got up to 113 degrees the day that Cortinez Logan died. First responders hope people will learn something from the 10 rescues they made on a California Central Valley river today. Emergency crews received repeated calls for help this morning on Kings River outside Fresno. All of those calls made within a 2-hour window. Some of those victims who could not get themselves to safety were found clinging to branches in the water. At least 2 were stuck on a raft. All 10 people who needed help were successfully rescued. Fresno County Sheriff's Office says it is important to familiarize yourself with any body of water before you get into it. They also stress it's best to use life jackets. A lot of people hope celebrating Independence Day on the West Coast beaches will help them beat the heat. Taking a live look now at the conditions in Santa Monica, California. You can see the beach looks beautiful out there. People started crowding that beach early this morning. Let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Bill Martin, who can break down when we can expect a break from the West's extreme heat. And extreme is one word for it, Bill.
Well, and what you can't see here, what you're missing here is the fog, right? It's this time of year, typically you do see a little fog at the coast. This is Huntington, or down in Southern California. We've got a little fog trying to get through the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. We've got a little bit of fog along the coast up in Seattle, but it's really staying offshore and keeping temperatures on the hot side. These are the highs from today, 112 up north, in Redding, California, 107 in Sacramento, buck 13 in Las Vegas, 113 in Phoenix. It's just West Coast heat, and all these purples areas representing temperatures over 100 degrees. So the western grid is getting really worked a little bit, quite a bit. You can see the ridge of high pressure up here. Everything's going up over the top, and it's a broad ridge. There's the bullseye, and I'll click through here, and you'll see that this is the forecast model. Nothing really changes, so we're still in for the heat. What we will see, though, is fog along the coast starting to work its way inland into some of these low-lying areas, and especially in north of Cape Point Conception. So right now, temperatures, I mean, Seattle right now at 80 degrees, 89 degrees in Portland. That's really, really very, very, very warm for this time of year. That's downright hot. And then in San Francisco, it's 66. I said the sea breeze coming in, so the fogs come in. But look at all that purple right now, all the way down to Las Vegas. I mean, it's the whole West Coast is lit up. So we got bad air quality, bad fire danger. These are the watches and warnings. Excessive heat warnings are in purple. Heat advisories are in orange. Another excessive heat warning. This one in California wants to last for the next 5 days. At least that's is the possibility. And excessive heat warnings for Southern California and then out towards Las Vegas and beyond. So it is just real hot. It's going to stay real hot for a number of days, especially in the interior valley of California, in the Inland Empire in Southern California, and in parts of the eastern Nevada deserts, or the western Nevada desert. So this is the forecast zones, if you will, or the panels, and you can see, wow, I mean, Phoenix, what's going on there, right? Buck 16, 115, 115, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, ouch. San Francisco, 90 degrees, 85, 80, San Francisco in July, temperature should be in the 60s, mid 60s, maybe upper 60s, but Seattle, upper 80s. So yeah, the heat is on, man. And it's a fire danger, bad air quality, and heat concerns for folks with pre-existing conditions. So stay warm or stay cool and drink plenty of fluids.
Yeah, no relief in sight. Thank you very much, Bill. A shootout at Yellowstone National Park has left one person dead and a park ranger hospitalized tonight. Investigators say the ranger exchanged gunfire with someone who was making unspecified threats in the area today. That shootout followed what they're calling a, quote, significant law enforcement incident that began overnight. Now, the suspect, who has not been identified, died following that shootout. It all happened in the Canyon Village section of the park. That includes a campground, visitor center, and lodging. At this point, it's not clear whether any of those areas known to attract tourists were impacted by this incident. The ranger who was injured, we're hearing, is in stable condition at an area hospital. And a final holiday weekend for Las Vegas's Mirage Resort and Casino. Coming up, see how people are preparing for the loss of another property with decades of history on the Strip.
It was on the rough side, but it was great.
Celebrations ×2 for a World War II vet in Oregon today. We'll take you to his 104th birthday party. We expect to see tourists keep hotels, restaurants, and other attractions busy in several West Coast cities today. Taking a live look at Seattle, you can see the Space Needle there, one of the best cities in America. It is #1 on this year's AAA 4th of July travel destination list. AAA researchers put together the list by evaluating booking data. Orlando, Florida ranks #2. Anchorage, Alaska, and Honolulu, Hawaii rank 3rd and 4th on that list. AAA says Anchorage and Seattle are popular destinations this time of year because of the availability of Alaska cruises from those cities. Hawaii is always popular for summer getaways. Las Vegas ranks 8th on AAA's list. People making a trip to that city over the next 10 days have an opportunity to check out a desert mainstay that will soon disappear. Fox 5's Molly McBride shows us how people are beginning to mark the end of the Mirage Casino's time on the Strip.
Whether it's Houston, Texas,
I've been coming every year, ever since they opened, basically.
or Seattle, Washington,
We've been coming here as a family ever since I could remember.
tourists are saying their goodbyes to a hotel that's over time become more than just a place to stay. Lori Keller remembers $1.99 buffets and seeing Siegfried and Roy. She and her husband are visiting to see the Beatles' Love show one last time before the show ends on Saturday.
It's just sad to see it go.
But not all visitors are coming from across state lines.
As a proud Las Vegas local, I like to remember the history of our city.
14-year-old Jackson Luton lives in the Northwest Valley. This time he's visiting with his grandpa, a similar trip they took before the Tropicana closed in April.
I think that the old casinos just play such a big part in this town.
Although only 14, he remembers taking his grandma to Beatles' Love for her birthday in 2018 and paying tribute to Roy Horn during the pandemic. He says he's hoping to snag some memorabilia and see the terrarium for the last time before the casino closes its doors on the 17th.
Old Las Vegas has just more interesting facts about it than modern Las Vegas. We could look at the Sphere and see how cool that is, but we could also look at places like the Tropicana.
Molly McBride, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
The Mirage property is being transformed into a Hard Rock Hotel and Casino and Guitar Hotel Las Vegas. Renderings of that overhauled property there showing you a new hotel tower in the shape of a guitar raising 700 feet above the Strip. Developers expect the new resort to open in 2027. Anyone with reservations to the current Mirage Resort beyond July 14th will get a refund. United Airlines is rolling out new technology to keep travelers informed about the status of their flights. The airline says customers can expect to get new text messages with live radar maps of air traffic. Those messages will also include detailed information about flight disruptions. United says a message can read something like, "We want you to know your flight is departing late because we needed to finish cleaning your plane." The airline is using artificial intelligence to help gather the information it is sending to customers. United says customer satisfaction scores have improved by 5% since it implemented this service. 6 people are hurt after a carnival ride collapsed in Oak Harbor, Washington. Images posted to social media show how that incident tipped over the ride, leaving its swing chairs scattered all over the ground. This all happened last night, shutting down that carnival. According to city officials, victims were treated for minor injuries at the scene. They say they're working closely with the vendor to inspect that ride to try to determine what caused that malfunction. And we have an update tonight on a story we've been following out of Seattle. The driver, who has become known for posting dangerous stunts online, is now facing a warrant for his arrest. Fox 13's AJ Geneville breaks down why he's a wanted man.
Where is Miles Hudson? That's what Seattle City Courts want to know. This is a bench warrant to bring Hudson into custody, and the charges he's skipping out on aren't for his loud car. Instead, they're for allegedly terrifying and harassing a 23-year-old woman. Count 1, stalking. Count 2, disclosing intimate images. These are real accusations of a person victimized, demanding justice. Hudson already has an assault in the 4th conviction down in Renton, with a suspended sentence as long as he stays out of trouble. So where is the Belltown Hellcat owner?
Charles, y'all can see we in the GTA bunker with it, bro, and we about to turn this flat into a Hellcat demon, bro.
Here he is, on his Instagram account, where 750,000 people keep up with his antics. Like his 4th of July plans for a, quote, firework/splat war. What is that, you may ask? Well, this is a fireworks war.
Oh, I'm trying to make a deal, bro.
And these are splat guns. The 21-year-old is also currently on the hook to pay more than $80,000 to Seattle for fines connected to his illegal car. A car that still has not passed inspection, but is still making its way around Western Washington, according to Hudson's own posts.
That was Fox 13's AJ Geneville reporting. He reached out to the Seattle City Attorney's Office to ask how much of Hudson's fine has been paid. He also reached out to Hudson's attorney to try to get a comment about that bench warrant. He says he's waiting for responses from both. Jury selection in Alec Baldwin's trial is scheduled to begin next Tuesday in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The actor is charged with involuntary manslaughter in the death of 42-year-old cinematographer Helena Hutchins. In October of 2021, during a rehearsal on the set of the movie Rust, Baldwin pointed a gun at Hutchins and it went off, killing her and injuring the director. Armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed has already been convicted of involuntary manslaughter and is currently serving an 18-month sentence. Legal experts say if Baldwin is convicted, he could also face prison time. Well, for the first time since 2019, Utah is no longer in a drought. The U.S. Drought Monitor's most recent assessment of the conditions in the state show only pockets of abnormally dry conditions in some areas. 2 years ago, 82% of the state was designated extreme or exceptional in terms of their drought status. The state leaders say they are pleased with new data showing Utah is no longer in a drought. Still, they are encouraging everyone to continue to conserve water. They say conservation will keep water levels in the reservoirs adequate to ensure more water gets downstream to places like the Great Salt Lake. Ecological collapse around the lake has been a major concern for years. In Oregon, World War II veteran celebrates more than America's independence today. Fox 12's Paulina Aguilar spoke with him at his 104th birthday party in Beaverton.
Ike is celebrating his 104th birthday with friends and family. His daughter tells me that his only birthday wish was to ride in the sidecar of a motorcycle.
Ike Schaub turned 104 years old.
If you can wish one thing today for your birthday, what would that be?
Calm and quiet.
Well, he got quite the opposite. With the help of our own Tony Martinez and the Washington County Abate, Ike took a ride on the wild side. And even took a ride down memory lane when he had his own pair of wheels.
1947 Harley, 74 cubic inch. Boy, that was a good bike.
I never, ever expected him to make it to 104.
But before his surprise joyride, we caught up with a Pearl Harbor veteran who was just 21 years old when he enlisted as a musician second class.
Most of my time at Pearl was quiet, routine, doing chores. My sousaphone, it was a big thing to shine, you know, it had to shine. Big gold line bell and silver horn, and we had to shine it, boy, and it had to really sparkle.
Then tragedy struck.
While he was getting ready to go out, like just started a cup of coffee, had to drop it, and heard everything, went up on deck and saw the Utah capsize, I believe, at that moment. It was days and hours of, you know, helping people out.
It was pretty scary, actually. Just scared. When's it going to hit me? When am I going to die and all that? You don't know what's going to happen. And the uncertainty is, it's hard to describe. You just can't.
After that, he went on to become an engineer.
He went on to land men from the moon. We're really proud of him. You know, he has never been like some great hero of yore, but he's mine.
Now Ike has Zoom cocktails with his fraternity brothers every Friday night.
We just shoot the breeze, tell us what we've been doing, and reminisce a little.
As long as he has a desire and wants to do things, we're going to try and get it done.
How was that ride?
A little on the rough side, but it was great. Sensation.
Ike tells me he wants to be the oldest Pearl Harbor survivor and live to 113 years old. Reporting in Beaverton, Paulina Aguilar, Fox 12 Oregon.
To me, it means being able to vote, being able to make a choice.
One for all and all for one, so don't let politics, religion, anything else, gender divide you.
Different takes on the word patriot in the West. Coming up, we check in with people who are taking time out on the 4th of July to reflect on this. And a contest that's become a 4th of July tradition has a new winner tonight. We will break down how many hot dogs it took to make a Chicago man the Nathan's hot dog eating contest winner. Plus, we have the West Coast contestant who made a strong showing in today's competition. Stay with us. Well, given the current political tensions in our country, today's July 4th holiday is giving many people a chance to reflect on what we have in common. KTVU's Jana Katsuyama shows us how people in the San Francisco Bay Area are expressing their patriotism.
The American flag with its red, white, and blue was flying high on this 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, everyone!
Families celebrating the holiday.
Crazy times in the country right now, but it's important to just celebrate and you know, spread positive vibes.
At the Marin County Fair, people showed their patriotism with pride.
One for all and all for one, so don't let politics, religion, anything else, gender divide you, you know? We should be there for each other.
But the fabric of American society seems to be ripping at the seams, with the nation polarized in red and blue politics.
In our family, we're very divided. And it's funny, it's the kids that have gone to college that are the Democrats, and we are not.
Families and communities struggling to overcome divisions, and yet many people said they hope for more unity, finding common ground on issues important to all Americans.
Stop being so polar, respect each other, and unify around having a good time and people living good lives. Would love better public education.
When we love, we take care about everybody, and we don't care about the color either.
At the League of Women Voters booth, one ballot that might find common ground was the best fair food election. There also is voter registration, where patriotism means being able to participate in our democracy.
To me, it means, being able to vote, being able to make a choice.
Even at the political booths, there were calls for respect.
We all have to reach out to those that we don't necessarily agree with. We should be able to talk with each other. When I work at these booths, I always make it a point to stop and have a discussion with the Democrat booth.
We're all in this country. We're all in this together. We're trying to make it a better place. Show some respect for one another. You don't have to hate in order to believe in political things. You can believe in different things. That's what our country's all about.
And as much as you might see hate online or on social media, it was notable how everyone was wearing the same red, white, and blue colors and hoping for more mutual respect. From the newsroom, Jana Katsuyama, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
And finally tonight, the mustard belt was awarded today at the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest.
3, 2, 1, go!
The men's competition happening without Bay Area native and 16-time title winner Joey Chestnut. It is the first time since 2005 that Chestnut has not participated in the contest. Patrick Bertoletti, walked away with the win, eating 58 hot dogs and buns in just 10 minutes, marking his first career title. The men weren't the only competitive eaters getting in on the action.
Dominating performance by Mickey Sudo.
New women's record, history made in Coney Island.
The 50 hot dog threshold.
There you have it, Mickey Sudo breaking the women's record, consuming 51 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes and winning the women's contest. Arizona's Michelle Lesko placed third in the women's competition, eating 39 and a half hot dogs. That's not half bad. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You can stay up to date on all of the stories that we are covering for the West Coast online. Just go to westcoastwrap.com and stream all of your shows and all of our shows on your smart TV by downloading your Fox Local app. There's a lot of news going on the West Coast, and we'll keep you updated. Have a great night. Happy 4th of July.